Hey guys, how's it going? Whew, very cold, very cold. I think it was like 4 or 5 degrees when I got up this morning, and like the total atmosphere was completely clear, which means that, well, very cold. Some places I know are like -1 or something like that. Anyways, keep warm because, well, it's not as cold as where you are, Jim. I know it gets very cold there with snow. Not as cold as there, but still pretty cold. So keep warm. People are getting sick these holidays. But anyway, questioning in kink. A lot of people will say, they want unquestioned loyalty, blah, 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 and the whole DS dynamic thing. Total crap. One of the reasons, particularly if you're new, you need to question things. Not just the submissives and the dominant. Doesn't mean that you're not submissive or anything like that, but you're clarifying things. Now, to question, some things that you're asked to do, and that doesn't always mean that someone's being disobedient on a dom's part. It just means that they are either insecure or unsure, like maybe it's a boundary or a limit for them, but you should be allowed to question to a certain extent. And why I say to a certain extent is because then sometimes the questioning just becomes I know it's feeding into whatever it is that your your self-doubt, and that is, so if you keep questioning the same thing over and over again, it's like, well, you've got to sit back and think, why are you questioning it? Is it something to do with you or them, or what's going on here? Now, some people say unquestioned loyalty within kink. I say that's pretty silly, because you don't have unquestioned loyalty in a general relationship. Unquestioning, you need to be able to question people to clarify things. You need to question to be sure that you're both on the same page with regards to what you're doing and the relationship. And a lot of people said, no, you're not a submissive because you question your own. And I'm going, well, if I get confused, I'd like clarification or something, because I want to make sure that I do it right. Say go over here and do X, Y, Z. I go, okay, well, how do you want me to do it? Do you want to do it this way or that way? If they go, well, just do it. So, well, okay, they've left it up to me to decide how best to do it in a way that I see fit. That's fine. If I know that in particular they like things done a certain way, I would ask. So definitely question things in kink, but make sure that when you question, it's not just, how do I do this? And you keep asking the same question over and over again. Seeking questions to clarify and to better the relationship is always better. It's like, I know recently there's some people that unquestionably believe one side of the argument. And some people say, well, they want an unbiased opinion. Because, well, you can't really have an unbiased opinion. They're all biased. It's the same as you getting kink. Now, one of the things is to say, and this always gets me when people say 90% or 97% of scientists agree on something. I said, well, that's an impossibility because of the nature of science. And if people say, oh, I want another point of view, I said, well, you're quite welcome, but if I see one point of view being promoted all the time, too much, or the majority of the time, I will put forward the other side's point of view from, an original source, or the original source. Even if it's controversial, I'll say, look, you keep saying that, you keep denying that this original source is just propaganda. How about you question and think that your source is also propaganda as well? And when you think about it that way, you want to get facts from both sides of the argument, or all sides of the argument, and then you make your own decision and you think logically about it. Same as in kink, you have your own thing to question, because you're seeing it from your point of view and they can't read your mind. It's the dominance as well. A submissive cannot read your mind on how you want things done, and sometimes you may not provide enough information, therefore they will question in order to clarify. And this is what needs to be done. It's not what's always done, even in this day and age. A lot of people make assumptions and then throw supposed facts and documented evidence at you. Let me put it this way. Hitler also documented so-called evidence. If you write down anything, you record anything, that's documenting anything and everything. And some people say it's fake news. Well, I could just say, well, it's documented, therefore it's true. We all know that that's not true at all. And the more you say it doesn't mean the more it's true either. Thinking about it and bringing that into also your kink relationship, you've got to think about, is what I'm asking reasonable? Of not just questioning what you're doing, but asking somebody to do something for you. Is that reasonable? Why are you asking it? Is it to test someone or to clarify something? The whole point of it, questioning, is to get better communication and understanding between, one or two or more parties, which I thoroughly encourage. Whether you agree or not, that has nothing to do with understanding. This is, I think, the whole weird thing about, I don't know if it's a thing to do with today's society, where it's for something facetious reasoning, where people say, okay, well, if you don't agree with me, then you must be against me. When people say, well, you know what, just because I don't agree with you doesn't mean I'm against you, it just means that I just don't agree with you. It's like I could not like somebody, but I could still respect their opinion, or still have a discussion with them, And one has nothing to do with the other. It's like, can you imagine in a world if all you did was surround yourself by people who agreed with you, didn't challenge, they wouldn't challenge you at all. They wouldn't push you to your limits, you wouldn't grow, you wouldn't expand, you wouldn't open up your mind. Oh my God. It's a trap we can all get into though, where people close their minds off and, don't reach out and seek new things, new people, new experiences, new information, things that cause them to question what they're about. I guess that's just me being a cat and having a curious mind, questioning things. I don't see it as a bad thing. Anyways, hump day. Questioning on hump day. Too much thinking, oh my God. It's cold and I wanted to stay snuggled up in my bed. I piled like doonas and blankets and dressing gowns and some toys and pillows all around me. I just didn't want to get up this morning. But anyway, going to work. Think about that, What have you questioned in your relationship and kink? Like when you've asked somebody to do something, or you've asked someone how to do something, or why you're doing something. Think about why you've asked the clarification or ask for something to be done. The purpose of it. Was it clear? Obviously, if somebody's questioning it, it wasn't clear, or they're uncertain, or they've reached the limit. And in which case, talk to them about it. Just have a chat. Talk to them about it. Don't beat them down with, oh, but you must because I said. Just say, okay, well, I said, but can you follow my logic, or can you think about it for a little bit? I mean, I've done that before when I've sought to question things and I've been told, well, you should just do it. And then I've sat down and thought about it, and I thought, okay, well, I can understand why I've been asked to do that. Some of it's for my own good because, you get lazy and get people to do things for you. It's like, oh, but, you need to do this and you need to do that. And, you got yourself into some trouble or whatever, you need to be able to sort it out yourself. Had that a lot too, where someone's caused some problems or troubles, or they just neglected to do something, says, oh, well, you can do this because it's faster. I was like, well, no, you need to learn how to do it and then you'll get faster at it. Hello. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Have a happy hump day. Keep warm, keep safe, and kink hard, guys. Love you.